Hi, I'm Allyn Root for Personal Liberty Digest and PersonalLiberty.com. Today's commentary is entitled, Are We on the Verge of an Obama Great Depression? America has always been a land of boom and bust. It's just part of the natural business cycle. But Obama and his socialist cabal have channeled Hoover and FDR, who turned an ordinary bust into the Great Depression with a toxic strategy of bigger government, more spending, more debt, expanded entitlements, more rules and regulations, strangling business, higher minimum wages, more power to unions, and dramatically higher taxes to pay for this expansion of big government. Sound familiar? Simply add in green energy, and this is the same toxic brew of the Obama game plan. Interestingly, it's the same plan that has led Europe to the edge of the cliff as well. The EU is crumbling under the weight of suffocating debt. If you think Greece was bad, wait till you start hearing the news out of Spain, the green energy capital of Europe. 25% unemployment, 50% unemployment among young people, crushing corporate debt 6 times bigger than Germany, insolvent banks. Greece was child's play. Spain is the world's 12th biggest economy. As Spain crumbles, it will bring the EU to its knees later this summer. So I guess green energy didn't work, did it? The question is Obama following the same toxic game plan out of leftist naivete and ignorance? After all, Obama's lifetime of business experience before taking up residence in the White House wouldn't qualify him to run a Bronx bodega, yet we made him CEO of the world's biggest economy. Oops. Or does Obama understand exactly what he's doing? Is Obama's goal to overwhelm the system with debt and entitlements, incite crisis, sow doubt about capitalism, redistribute the wealth of business owners, his political opposition, and force Americans to their knees, begging for government to save them, thereby opening the door to big government socialism, or at the very least, European-style social capitalism, which is a mixture of socialism and capitalism? My answer is, does it really matter? Here's where the story gets downright frightening. This time the results are going to be dramatically worse than 1929. This time we're facing the greatest depression ever. Why? Because the Great Depression had none of the problems and obligations we're now facing. Think about it. In 1929, America did not have $115 trillion in debt and unfunded liabilities. In 1929, most of our states were not bankrupt, insolvent, and dependent on the federal government to survive. Exhibit A is California, our Greece. In 1929, we had far fewer government employees living off taxpayers. Today, we have a mind-boggling 21 million government employees with record numbers earning over $100,000 a year. Actually, 77,000 federal employees earn more than the governors of their states. Today, the average federal employee earns over $120,000 a year, double that of the private sector. Worse, a tremendous number of government employees retire at age 50 with $100,000 plus pensions for life. Protected by their unions and the politicians they elect, government employee pensions will strangle the U.S. economy as we move forward. Even FDR said he could not imagine allowing public employees to unionize, and now we know why. In 1929, Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid didn't exist. The federal government had no such obligations that today threaten to consume the entire federal budget within a decade. All of it. In 1929, there was no such thing as welfare. Food stamps, aid to dependent children, or English as a second language. Americans didn't consider it the responsibility of government to pay for breakfast and lunch for students, let alone illegal immigrant students. Cuba just eliminated their version of food stamps. Yet today under Obama, we have over 46 million Americans on food stamps. It's getting hard to tell who the socialists are and who the capitalists are, but I think I know. In 1929, we didn't offer unemployment payments for years on end, let alone the ability to leave unemployment and join the disability roll for life. In 1929, we didn't have millions of illegal immigrants and their children collecting billions of dollars in entitlements from U.S. taxpayers. In 1929, legal immigrants wanted only to work. My grandparents from Russia and Germany received no government benefits. They worked day and night to provide for their family and become American citizens. It was sink or swim. You either worked or you became homeless. In 1929, we had 150 million citizens with strong work ethic, all motivated to earn the American dream for their children and grandchildren. Today, all the hungry, motivated citizens appear to be in China and India. In 1929, we had an education system that was the envy of the world. Today, our public schools are in shambles. Education in America is a national disgrace, creating generations dependent on government. The difference? Teachers' union are today in charge instead of the parents. In 1929, we had cheap and plentiful oil. Today, Obama blocks offshore drilling while canceling the Keystone Pipeline project. Environmentalist extremists and Democratic politicians, I know, I'm repeating myself, keep us dependent on foreign oil supplied by tyrants and terrorists. Do you get the picture? Disaster looms. The only reason America is keeping her head above water is that the Fed is printing trillions in fake dollars, while at the same time artificially keeping interest rates at the lowest levels in history. America is like a bankrupt consumer living on credit cards and adjustable rate mortgages. But if interest rates are ever allowed to return to normal levels, the interest alone on the debt will overwhelm this economy. The solution is actually simple. Cut government, cut spending, cut entitlements, cut foreign aid, cut taxes, dramatically reduce government employee compensation and pensions, stop the wars, encourage drilling, balance the budget, reform the Fed, term limit politicians, restore school choice, dramatically reduce the power of teachers' unions, and back the dollar with a gold standard. And of course, remove the current occupant of the White House, where, like so many other great empires of history, America may never recover from the Obama Great Depression. I'm Allyn Root for Personal Liberty and PersonalLiberty.com. See ya, same time, same place, right here next week. Bye-bye.